Reverb is probably the most important sound effect. It's used in every genre of music, in every commercial, and in every single piece of professional audio. But then, why do we use it like it has only 3 knobs? Like, it's not enough. I have studied every single parameter of Ableton stock reverb, and I have collected the information that you must know to bring your sound to the next level. After this video, your reverbs will be at least 50% better. And this is because you will know how to personalize them. And that's something that nobody does. Now let's get to the point. Before going to Ableton and actually tweak the knobs, I need to explain you how reverbs are made, otherwise you are not going to understand anything. So this is very important, but if you already know this, just skip this section. So, this is the reverb. Basically, when we have a dry sound, what reverb does is adding this whole section of audio to its tail. As you can see, the reverb is divided into 2. We have early reflections and then we have diffusion. Early reflections are basically your dry sound just delayed slightly and repeated a bunch of times. But they are very discernible, okay? They are still your dry sound, okay? You can understand that. The diffusion, on the other hand, is muddy. You cannot understand this. It's just the tail of the sound. It's very cloudy, okay? In other words, when you are inside a room and you speak, this is the voice that comes out of your mouth. This is the sound that comes back to you after bouncing only once in the room. So basically, it gets to a wall, bounces back, and gets to your ears. While this is the sound that makes several bounces and becomes indiscernible. Okay, let's get to Ableton. This is the sound that we are going to work with.
That's a microphone.
As you can see, it's completely dry, and yeah, we're going to add reverb to it. Let's say that we want to make this bigger, but without making it muddy. Now, what we can do is actually take a reverb and put the diffuse knob completely down, and turn the reflect knob completely up. Now, what this does is basically take only the first section of the reverb, only the first part, and it sounds like this.
That's a microphone.
So this is like full, but not muddy. Now that's useful for vocals, for synthesizers, and for sounds that generally sound a bit slim. Now let's see what happens when we do the opposite. So we turn the diffuse completely up, and we turn the reflect completely down. Now here I have a decay of 8 seconds, which is pretty long, and you are going to notice this. This sound is useful for transitions and to make your track sound full. Let's hear an example of these reverbs actually used in a synthesizer. So this is the sound. Okay, and we are going to make this like bigger, but not muddy, okay? So we can actually increase the reflect and put it to the maximum while maintaining the diffuse relatively normal, okay? What we can do also is to set the pre-delay very, very high. What this does is actually distancing in time the reverb from the actual dry sound. Let's hear how it sounds. As you can see, it's like basically a delay, okay? It sounds like a delay, but it's more full than a delay because it has some echo, some reverb with it. So it sounds warm and full, but not muddy. The last thing that I want to show you is how to use reverbs when you have very low sounds in pitch or very high sounds in pitch. Let's hear this clip.
That's a microphone.
It's basically the same sound of before, but it's format shifted and processed a little bit. So this sound is very low in pitch, and we want the reverb to be very low in pitch as well. How can we do this? So basically, in this section of the reverb, you have input filter. This is basically a filter that's put before the reverb. So like the whole reverb has got this filter. So if you press high cut here, basically it creates a low pass filter for the reverb, okay? So the reverb will have only low end components. Additionally, we can also use the diffusion network, which is basically a filter, but only for the diffusion of the sound. This is what it sounds like.
That's a microphone.
And this is without reverb.
That's a microphone.
It's rich, it's more full, and it's very low end, okay? And there's not any high end in this sound. That's very important. So now you know how to make reverbs sound like you want them to be. Now go out there and make some practice so that you can become more comfortable with these concepts. And if you found this video useful, please like and subscribe so I can make more of them. Thank you for your attention and see you on the next one.